Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Cici Hanifah with the number absent 12 and I'm from extensive reading G class, and this is my report in the meeting 6. And this report is novel with the title The Pilgrim's Progress with the author John Bunyan, upload at 18 February 1678, with the language is English and the genre is allegory novel and Christian novel. The summary plot overview. The narrator defends the story he is about to tell, which is framed as a dream. He explains that he fell asleep in the wilderness and dreamed of a man named Christian who was tormented by spiritual anguish. A spiritual guide named Evangelist visits Christian and urges him to leave the city of destruction. Evangelist claims that salvation can only be found in the celestial city known as Mount Zion. Christian begs his family to accompany him unsuccessfully. On his way, Christian falls into a book called the Slough of Despond, but he is saved. He meets worldly wise men who urges him to lead a practical, happy existence without religion. Refusing Christianity is sheltered in Godwill's house. Godwill tells Christian to stop by the interpreter's home, where Christian learns many lessons about faith. Walking along the wall of salvation, Christian sees Christ, tomb, and cross. At his vision, his burden falls to the ground. One of the three shining ones, celestial creators, hands him a rolled certificate to entry to the celestial city. Christian falls asleep and loses his certificate, since the certificate is his ticket into the celestial city. Christian reproaches himself for losing it. After retracing his tracks, he eventually finds the certificate. Walking on, Christian meets the four mistresses of the place Beautiful, who provide him shelter. They also feed him and arm him. After descending the valley of humiliation, Christian meets the monster Apollyon, who tries to kill him. Christian is armed, and he strikes Apollyon with a sword, and then proceeds through the desert-like valley of the shadow of death toward the celestial city. Another fellow pilgrim named Hopeful befriends Christian on his way on their journey of pilgrims who use religion as a means to get ahead in the world named Payans crosses their path. Christian rejects his company. The two enter the plain of Ise, where a smooth talk named Demas tempts them with silver. Christian and Hopeful pass him by, taking shelter for the night on the grounds of Doubting Castle. They awake to the threats of the castle's owner, the giant Despair, who, with the encouragement of his wife, imprisons and tortures them. Christian and Hopeful escape when they remember they possess the key of promise, which unlocks any door in Despair's domain. Proceeding onward, Christian and Hopeful approach the delectable mountains near the celestial city. They encounter wise shepherds who warn them of the treacherous mountains error and caution, where previous pilgrims have died. The shepherds point out travelers who wander among tombs nearby, having been blinded by the giant despair. They warn the travelers to beware of shortcuts which may be paths to hell. The pilgrim are lodged in the interpreter house. The interpreter orders his manservant Great Heart to accompany them to the house. Beautiful Mr. Brisk pays court to Mercy, but soon stops courting her because of her involvement in charity work. As a result of eating the devil's fruit, Matthew falls ill but is cured by Dr. Skill. The pilgrims descend into the valley of hu- humiliation and cross the valley of the shadow of death. They encounter the giant Maul and slay him. After meeting the old pilgrims honest, they take shelter with Jayus. The pilgrims continue on their journey and kill the giant goods, slay, then rescue the pilgrims' feeble mind and ready to help. They loot with Manson. Crossing the river of life, they kill the giant despair and greet the kind shepherds who welcome them into delectable mountains. Christiana meets the great fighter valiant for truth, who accompanies them. They across the ancient ground and meet the pilgrims stand fast, who has just spawned Madame Babel, a beautiful temptress. The pilgrims are welcomed in the celestial city. Christiana goes to meet her maker, the master. The other pilgrims soon follow. And that's all my synopsis about the Pilgrim's Progress. And see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.